Hey guys, Wesley Smith here for JTSStrength.com. Just answering some fans' questions off of Facebook. Jeff Rogers asked about doing alactic capacity work in inclement weather. So alactic capacity, for those of you not in the know who haven't bought the Juggernaut Method 2.0 and learned about it in there, or learned about it in a lot of other places like Google, But alactic capacity, simply put, is the ability to repeat a high-level effort repeatedly with incomplete rest periods. So an example, football conditioning is an effort of alactic capacity. So I would say that conditioning is a very big word. It encompasses a lot of different things that will mean something different to different people depending on the sport that they compete in. If you were to ask most people on the street who's better conditioned, a marathon runner or strongman, they'd probably all tell you the marathon runner, but that's not necessarily true. A marathon runner is better conditioned to run a marathon, and a strongman is better conditioned to do strongman. So you need to be drawing a distinction when you talk about conditioning for what it actually means. So alactic capacity, the ability to repeat high-level efforts over and over with incomplete rest. That's the basis of conditioning for most team sports. Football game, you're going to go all out for 3 to 7 seconds, and then depending on the type of scheme that your team runs, you're going to rest for 15 to 45 seconds. So if someone has great alactic capacity, just kind of a simple way to put this would be if they run a 4.640 when they're totally fresh, and they're going to go on a 10-play drive, that on play 1 of that drive they can run a 4.640, and on play 10 of that drive they can run like a 4.740. That it's their output's not dropping off that much. So as far as developing alactic capacity, if you have to stay indoors all the time, really simple thing to do. Obviously I have my football guys out on the field doing sprints and change of direction drills most of the time for alactic capacity, because I live in Southern California and it's 82 degrees today on March 13th. But I know a lot of you guys aren't fortunate enough to have that. Sorry. But developing alactic capacity in a weight room is pretty easy as well. You can really pick any exercise that will allow you to have a high level output on it. So something where you can be explosive and you can be powerful, and just do that within the time frame, work-rest intervals that will develop alactic capacity. So you want to be keeping your efforts less than 6 seconds in duration. I'd say 3 to 6 seconds in duration, and depending on the athlete's preparedness level is gonna affect where the rest periods are with that. I'd say 30 seconds is a good starting point. And there's a couple different ways that you could progress it. You could either add reps each week. So let's say we were going to do weighted jumps, like holding one kettlebell between your legs and doing a squat jump. So maybe the first week you're going to do 10 sets of 4 with 30 seconds rest between each set. The second week you could either do 10 sets of 5, still with 30 seconds rest between, or you could stay at 10 sets of 4 and drop the rest to like 25 seconds. So we do a lot of alactic capacity work indoors as well. Or if I have someone who has like a foot injury, I dealt with this last summer. One of my athletes had a stress fracture in his foot, so he couldn't sprint. So we were doing all his alactic capacity work on the bike, and with kettlebell swings, barbell Russian twists, 1 or 2 arm punches on like a landmine or grappler setup, and just keep in mind to stay within the work rest intervals, no more than 6 seconds of work, and I'd say between 10 and 30 seconds of rest. But the whole key is the rest needs to be long enough so that the quality of the effort is not diminishing too much from set to set. And you either need to do that just through observation of your athletes or just how you feel yourself. If you're going to use something like a bike or an Airdyne bike or a Versa Climber for it, you just want to really crank the resistance up, and just pedal as hard as you can, or Versa climb as hard as you can for those 4 to 6 seconds. An interval timer would be a good thing to have with this if you're training by yourself or if you're training groups, and you can just get one of those in the App Store or just Google it. I had a really good interval timer I used before. Maybe I'll try and post the link to that. But yeah, hopefully, Jeff, that answers your question about developing alactic capacity if you got to stay inside. I think kettlebell swings, particularly banded kettlebell swings, because it'll just allow you to get more reps in a shorter time. Weighted jumps, box jumps, sledgehammer slams, explosive push-up variations like box push-ups, and stuff like high pulls, squats. The possibilities are not endless, but there's a lot of them. It's just got to be a high level effort, something you can be explosive with, and stay within those prescribed work rest intervals. So hopefully that answered your question. Make sure you guys check us out on Facebook. Visit the website jtsstrength.com, home of Team Juggernaut, the strongest team in the world. All right, bye.